You are watching
game with senior Matt Gaudio leading the way. And look to get their leading scorer, Glenn Sekunda, off the block and back to the rack. Penn State, Michigan next. University, the venue for this Michigan and Penn State Big Ten matchup. Hi, everybody. This is Bill Zimper. And tonight, it is the rematch between Penn State and Michigan. Earlier in the first matchup between these two teams at Ann Arbor, Penn State was undefeated, but Michigan pulled off the one-point victory, knocking off the 14th-ranked Nittany Lions. Right now, let's bring in former Penn State coach Bruce Parkhill. And Bruce, they shot 46% from three-point land in that game, Penn State did. That is one aspect that's been fading a bit.
It's really going to be critical tonight. Bill, the last several games, Penn State has struggled to get good looks from the perimeter. Look for them tonight to try to get Pete Lisicky and the perimeter players better looks. They may have success, too, because Michigan's perimeter defense has not been one of their strengths.
All right, Pete Lisicky, the second leading three-point shooter in the Big Ten Conference going into this game. Some of you tonight will be hearing the voices of Larry Osterman and Tim McCormick. For them and the Michigan point of view, let's go. Gentlemen.
I'll tell you, Bill, it's a big game, as you know, for the Michigan Wolverines. They're coming off of a very emotional victory over Indiana at Chrysler on Sunday afternoon, a 5-point win. They're without Robert Traylor. They're without Robert Traylor again tonight. And I guess it's going to be a matter of the big guys stepping up and taking over that boy.
Absolutely. Maurice Taylor, Maceo Baston, the big guys down low need a forceful effort. They need to get after it. Now, they have the ability to dominate at both ends of the court, and I think they're going to have to provide a little bit of sophomore leadership. But most important, they can't get in foul trouble because they lack depth.
It's going to be a big win, Penn State and Michigan. It's coming up. We invite you to stay with us along all of this creative sports station.
Tonight's Big Ten game is brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealer. By Harness Extra Herbicide, the herbicide that is as dependable as you are. And by CarQuest Auto Parts. For the CarQuest store nearest you, call 1-800-492-PARTS.
These sights and sounds of high performance are brought to you by Crystal Clear Amoco Ultimate Premium Gasoline. Formulated without certain harmful impurities, it's the fuel that can motivate some of the world's most renowned performance vehicles. Crystal Clear Amoco Ultimate.
We're a Dodgeland, #1 in 94 and 95. And we're doing it again in 96 by offering every 96 4x4, truck, car, and minivan at $196 a month. Yes, $196 a month. Unbelievable? No. Unbeatable! Discounts up to $5,000 off MSRP. Get automotive credit instantly. Brand new 96 Dodges, $196 a month. Barbera Dodgeland in nearby beautiful Roxborough, where all we do is discount Dodges.
You know us. We're Core States Bank. But you may not know about our new Core States check card. See? Looks like a credit card. But it's not, because it works like a check. Only easier. The amount you spend wherever you see a Visa sign is automatically deducted from your checking account. So there's no bill at the end of the month. Ever. Is that easy or what? Sign up for your card today. Oh, I forgot. The card that works like a check, only easier.
There's a lot of sports on TV, but nobody's really giving sports fans the business. The money games that often dictate what you see on the field and in the stadium. Until now, that is. I'm Victor Livingston. I'm a business journalist, but I'm also a sports fan. And now I bring you Sport Biz Today on Sports Channel Philadelphia. Each week we'll look at the business side of sports, the money games that you should know about if you're any kind of a sports fan. Sport Biz Today, right here on Sports Channel Philadelphia. Be with me.
The home ice advantage, 17,000 fans screaming for a hit, cheering for a goal, counting on a win. Enough energy, enough electricity, enough emotion to shift the game into a higher gear. You can only get the home ice advantage in two places, live at the Core State Spectrum or live on Prism. Prism has Flyers home games you won't see anywhere else. So give yourself the home ice advantage. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
Welcome back to a sold-out Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State University. You can see they are charged up for this one. Penn State and Michigan, and another battle in the Big Ten. Let's check out the starting lineup first for the Wolverines. At the guards, Lewis Bullock and Dugan Fife. The center, Maceo Baston, forced in there because of the injury to Robert Traylor, suffered in that car accident. Maurice Taylor and Travis Conlan will start at the forward position. For the Penn State Nittany Lions, the lineups tonight, Pete Lisicky and Dan Earl at guards. Earl has started every game. Calvin Booth at center, the 6'11 redshirt freshman. And at the forward spots, Matt Gaudio and Glenn Sekunda. Sekunda, the leading scorer for the Nittany Lions. Well, everybody set for this one. Penn State trying to avenge the loss at Ann Arbor. We'll be back with the opening tip in just a moment.
We are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. We need your help. It may not save my life. It may save my children's life. It may save someone you love. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
To help keep Jimmy V's dream alive, please call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V.
Are you ready for some turf-burning, high-scoring, board-slamming, take-a-punch, lose-your-lunch, high-fiving, hard-driving, back-slapping, how'd that happen, makes you wonder, blazer-bashing wings action?
The world champion Philadelphia Wings take flight. Catch all the action this Saturday, 8 o'clock at the Core State Spectrum. See them crush the Charlotte Cobras. Tickets to the Core State Spectrum box office and Ticketmaster. Wings Lacrosse is brought to you by Bud Light, official beer. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
We are set for the opening tip. There's Maurice Taylor positioning, but it'll be Maceo Baston and Calvin Booth up for the tip, and it's controlled by Michigan. And Bruce, the Wolverines really going with a three-guard offense here.
Yeah, Bill, the loss of Traylor is really going to hurt their game because they are primarily an inside-oriented team. It's going to be really interesting to see, though, if that helps their perimeter defense because they're allowing their opponents 37% from the three-point line.
Dugan Fife launched an early bomb and missed it badly, and Danny Earl back down for the Nittany Lions. Got a whistle underneath. And it'll go Penn State's way. Going to have some pushing going on underneath. They're back Michigan's way, rather, as Gary Dunn contesting that one early. Penn State with the edge at home over Michigan. Of course, this is the first game the Wolverines have appeared here in the brand new arena. Bullock pulls up.
He's the one guy who is really consistent from the perimeter and who can hurt you if you give him open looks.
That was a three-pointer. Bullock, a 38% three-point shooter. Made that one look smooth. Earl collides, and we've got a block called on Bullock down at the defensive end.
Looks pretty obvious that Michigan's going to try to apply a lot of pressure to Penn State, and that has been effective. In their last several games, people have really come out and tried to pressure the perimeter players, and it's really disrupted their timing as well as their execution offensively.
Lewis Bullock out on Danny Earl. Danny Earl had an 18-point game, his season high at Purdue. Lisicky pulls up off the front iron. Bullock on the run. Tried to get it to Fife, and he passed behind him.
I'll tell you, if that last defensive series for Michigan is any indication, Penn State's going to get good looks because they did not defend the screen action well, and Pete Lisicky got a good look.
Some mild full court pressure by Michigan. Now Danny Earl will get it out top and set up the Penn State half-court offense. Calvin Booth. Off iron, and here come the Wolverines running the other way. Taylor corralled the rebound, and Bullock now. Conlan travels. Travis Conlan trying to make a move into the paint. Took some steps with the ball. It'll go Penn State's way.
Yeah, it's a couple of unforced turnovers by the Wolverines, and on the road, you just can't afford too many of those.
Again, we see the mild full court pressure. Matt Gaudio helping out. Cross-court pass to Sekunda. Lisicky open from three. Cannot let him open there.
Bill, Penn State has gotten a good look each time they've gotten a shot offensively. The one turnover cost them, but Michigan's going to have to play a lot better defense if they're going to have a chance to win this game.
All tied at 3. 17:40 remaining in the first half of the game here at the Bryce Jordan Center. Dugan Fife lobs down low, knocked away by Calvin Booth. Then he pulled it in with that wingspan. That ball was deflected on the outside. Gaudio with the offensive board, but it'll go Michigan's way. Danny Earl saying he was fouled outside. There's Matt Gaudio.
Now Matt Gaudio tries to take it to contact, and Michigan does a great job of holding their ground and not falling for the pump fake.
Pete Lisicky jars the ball loose, and the Nittany Lions have the ball back. That ball deflected away by Baston, still Penn State ball.
I'm a little surprised that Michigan hasn't really tried to set up and establish their inside game with Taylor being such a terrific player.
Calvin Booth inside. Tough to stop that. Steal by Earl. Lisicky from the foul line.
I'll tell you, Bill, Michigan's playing like a very young team right now. They're making unnecessary mistakes. They look a little rattled. Penn State's taking advantage of it.
Lisicky has 5. Penn State has 7, and rejected by Calvin Booth. Steve Fisher in his 7th year at Michigan trying to urge his guys on. And Maceo Baston over there for a couple of words. Albert White takes his place in the lineup. Freshman out of Inkster, Michigan. Dugan Fife outside the three-point stripe. Conlan gets it inside. A lot of traffic inside, and shot clock violation. They ran out of time. Now, Penn State is doing it on both ends of the court in the early stages of the game, Bruce.
Yeah, they're looking sharp. They look like they're playing with a lot of energy. And I was going to say, Calvin Booth, I thought against Purdue played with more energy than he had the last several games, and he looks frisky tonight, and that's a good sign for Penn State.
Michigan with already 6 turnovers in the game. Glenn Sekunda. There's a mismatch. Dugan Fife is on Sekunda. Sekunda would have the size match there. Oh, that's going to be offense against Dan Earl. Offensive foul called against Danny Earl, who'll go the other way. Take a look.
One of the things that's effective offensively is to swing the ball and then penetrate. And Danny was trying to do that, but Michigan did a great job cutting off the lane. It's a good play by Bullock.
Travis Conlan handles the ball for Michigan. He will just take that 3. Made that look very easy.
I'll
Travis
tell you what,
Conlan.
he was shooting 16% from the three-point line. And last year when we went up to Michigan, we laid off of him, and he drilled about 3 or 4 three-point shots. So it's hard to figure.
Off the foot of Sekunda. Fife corrals it and gets it to Conlan. Here come the Wolverines on the run. Taylor to White.
That was a nice kick ahead by Taylor. Big guy has a lot of athleticism and a lot of talent.
And Michigan goes ahead by 1 on the first points of the game by Albert White.
They're explosive.
Calvin Booth draws a double team. Dan Earl wide open for 3. Off the iron, offensive board, Sekunda. And Calvin Booth fouled as he goes up.
Now this is really going to be interesting, Bill, because Michigan traditionally likes to trap the post. If they do that, they're going to leave Penn State open for some three-point looks like they did that time. Here, Glenn Sekunda penetrates the lane, draws the defense, dumps to Calvin, and Calvin takes it strong.
Calvin Booth on the line.
Calvin has really struggled from the stripe, hasn't he?
For the season, a 65% free throw shooter. 0 for 1 here. Make that 2, but Glenn Sekunda again tracks down the rebound. Foul foul is going to be called on Maurice Taylor inside as he tried to bat away that pass. Second foul on Maurice Taylor early in the game. Michigan with the early lead. We'll be back.
1995 marks the 100th season of Big Ten Conference football action. Celebrate the centennial anniversary of the Big Ten by ordering this commemorative home video chronicling 100 years of football and men's basketball. For just $19.99, you can relive the rich tradition and proud legacy of gridiron legends from Grange to Griffin and basketball greats such as Lucas, Magic, and the Fab Five. To order, call 1-800-BIG-TEN-4 or send $19.99 plus $5 shipping and handling to the address shown.
To play for a team in the NBA, taking it downtown, crashing the boards. With DirecTV's NBA Team Pass, at least I can follow any team. Or I can give it the full court press, NBA League Pass. Every team, the Magic, Knicks, Rockets, Suns, up to 30 great matchups every week. Yeah, I could be out there with those guys. Really, I could. You won't find the NBA like this on cable, so call 1-800-DIRECTV.
When you only do sports, you have to do it right. Sports Channel brings you sports the way they're meant to be seen. Everything from your hometown team to great games from across the globe. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's all sports, all the time. And if it's sports, it must be Sports Channel.
Michigan up by a point, and Bruce, here's how they got there.
Well, Travis Conlan adds a lot to Michigan. He's not a great shooter, but he's a good defender. Here he gets a deflection. Then they look ahead real quickly, and here's a great example of Taylor's ability. Passes off the dribble, and White finishes.
Number 30, Baston in for 8-7. Michigan Wolverines with a lead on the Nittany Lions. And, of course, Michigan in the headlines as of late with the automobile accident. Robert Traylor, the only one, fortunately, injured in that, with a broken arm. But how surprising was it, Bruce, that Michigan came right back from that and pummeled Indiana?
They really played well, and that was really the first game they had played well in several games, Bill. That was a big game for them. Trailers really applause. They lose 10 points and 7 rebounds, and for a young team like this, that's really significant.
And a lot of pounds.
A whole lot of pounds.
Baston traveled. So another turnover by the Wolverines, and Penn State will have a chance to go back on top now. Down by 1 point, 8-7. 14:41 to go. Jeremy Metzger making the entry in the first half, as he has done as of late. And Willie Mitchell also checks into the game for Michigan, the freshman out of Detroit. 7 turnovers now for Michigan. Phil Williams bringing it up. How much do you like to see that, Bruce?
Not real often. I think White and Mitchell are really key guys for Michigan now that Traylor's gone. And White came up big against Indiana.
Offensive rebound, Phil Williams. Danny Earl.
Now, it looks like he picked up where he left off at Purdue because he was really more aggressive with the ball out in West Lafayette.
From 3, no good by Bullock. And the Lions back down. Lisicky tried to get it into Metzger, but too many arms in the way. Long pass to Mitchell. Taken away, turnover number 8 for Michigan.
Yeah, it's nice solid defense by Penn State. They're doing a good job at that end of the floor so far tonight.
Earl working the screen from Phil Williams. Glenn Sekunda now way outside.
You don't get too many better screens than from Phil Williams, I'll tell you that.
Metzger to Sekunda. Phil Williams almost had a tip in off that miss, but no way. Going back the other way, Travis Conlan. Gets it inside to Albert White. Whoa, a little scoop from Albert White. Doesn't catch any rim, and now a scramble for the ball. It'll be a jump ball, and it'll go Penn State's way on the possession arrow.
Now, Penn State will be happy if Michigan keeps taking those kind of shots out of their offense. They really didn't get a lot of movement. They really didn't break down the defense, and White had to make a tough one-on-one move.
Donovan Williams into the game for Penn State. Will bring it into Pete Lisicky. So Donovan Williams, Pete Lisicky, Danny Earl, Jeremy Metzger, and Phil Williams. Earl from the foul line, double clutched and drew the foul. Lewis Bullock will be called with a foul.
That's a tough break for Michigan. I'm not sure that was a real significant play. Danny got caught off his feet and was looking to pass it off. Looked like Bullock was trying to avoid the contact. Let's see. Danny comes off a curl cut. Yeah, it looks like Bullock was trying to avoid him. Looks like he might have clipped him on the head. And that hurts Michigan. And Bullock has 2 fouls.
Donovan Williams. To Lisicky. They leave Williams alone.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Donovan Williams scores 2 points.
So far, it doesn't look like Michigan is guarding Penn State effectively on the perimeter. They're guarding them for 1 or 2 passes, and then they break down defensively. Penn State's patient. They're going to get all kinds of good looks tonight.
Willie Mitchell answers back with a 3 of his own, and we're tied at 11 with 12:15 remaining in the first half. Bill Zimper and Bruce Parkhill with you from the Bryce Georgia Center on the campus of Penn State University.
Boy, oh boy. Jeremy Metzger just laid a great screen on Travis Conlan, and he made no effort to get through it.
Phil Williams tracks down another offensive board. Lisicky for 3, but he gets it off to Earl. Dugan Fife comes down with a high jump rebound. Mitchell. Albert White on the baseline. That goes out of bounds, but we've got a foul called down low. Donovan Williams will get that foul.
Foul is on Donovan Williams, his first.
And here is a replay.
Here's one of the first times that Michigan has done a good job of penetrating the defense, this time by a pass. A good look into White by Conlan. It was a real nice look away. Great bounce pass.
Albert White with 2 points in the game on the line. And he hits that one. 68% free throw shooter. The freshman averaging 8.5 points and 4 rebounds per game.
Played a great game against IU. 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals.
1 out of 2, and Pete Lisicky hauls down the rebound. 12-11. Wolverines up by a point here in the first half. Damien McKnight handling for Penn State, now off to Donovan Williams. Metzger. Oh! Little reverse, doesn't quite go. Still Penn State ball, though. What a move by the big guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bill, Michigan is not sustaining their defense.
We've got a timeout on the floor. Michigan with a 1-point lead.
Remember Michael Jordan's rookie year? Nope, because you couldn't watch it. Remember Shaq's first year in the NBA? Couldn't watch that either. This year's NBA rookie sensation is Jerry Stackhouse. He may be the league's brightest new star. And thanks to Prism and Sports Channel, you won't miss a minute of his rookie year. Prism brings you every Sixers home game. Sports Channel brings you the Sixers on the road. Prism and Sports Channel, the best way to catch the best rookie in the NBA.
Wow, there you go.
The Flyers say hello. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Hola. Ciao. Yo. The Philadelphia Flyers, making visitors feel welcome with greetings of goodwill and friendship.
Oh, he crushes the Oiler player Marshman. He got him back.
In home games you can only see on Prism.
Could it happen again? A national championship for the Wildcats. Some think Kerry Kittles will lead this year's team to the promised land. And Sports Channel brings you all the action with a season of exciting regional matchups. The Wildcats have great perimeter shooting, a tough inside game, and 5 starters returning to the lineup. It's a combination that's sure to give them a great shot at a title. So follow the action this season on Sports Channel, the basketball home of the Wildcats.
Michigan with a lead, and Bruce, let's check out the Penn State offense at work.
Here's a good example of a good curl cut off of Phil Williams. Donovan penetrates by the dribble. Jeremy penetrates by the dribble. Gets a good look at the basket. It just doesn't go.
I think Penn State is getting the kind of looks that they need to get tonight to win the ball game.
Maurice Taylor and Ron Oliver. Jerry Dunn looking on as some other scores. Cincinnati, Louisville hanging in there. 3-point lead for Cincinnati in the first half of that one. Virginia Tech having trouble with LaSalle, up by 1. And here it is Michigan 12 and Penn State 11. 11:05 remaining in the first half. Donovan Williams, acrobatic move, and it goes. Donovan Williams.
Good patience again by Penn State. Good ball movement. You got Michigan sucked out on the perimeter. Basket area was wide open.
Willie Mitchell way outside, and he cans another one.
That's 3 points. So far, Michigan's hanging in with 3-point shots. But that's not their forte, and I think Steve Fisher's probably a little concerned about that right now.
Right now, 4 out of 6 in 3-point shooting for Michigan. Penn State is just 1 out of 5. Pass inside to Metzger. Metzger draws a double team and takes it right to the rack, but batted away. Now Donovan Williams didn't like what happened there. Second foul on Donovan Williams. Personnel changes for Penn State now. You can see Danny Earl, Matt Gaudio, and Calvin Booth checking back into the game. Pete Lisicky, Phil Williams. Now let's see who goes to the sideline. Penn State, wide advantage in backcourt scoring so far.
And I think Penn State's depth is going to have an effect on the game tonight. Michigan is certainly not deep at all with all the problems they've had personnel-wise. Losing Jerod Ward and now the big fella Traylor.
Dugan Fife pulls up, can't hit the deep one, and Calvin Booth with a rebound. Went out of bounds. Ron Oliver knocked it out of bounds, and it'll still be Penn State ball. You talked about the depth there. Ron Oliver now going out of the game. Has not seen a lot of action, and he is pressed in the first half here. Freshman out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, Bullock with 2 fouls is really a big factor.
Your guards are now Dugan Fife, Travis Conlan, Maceo Baston, Maurice Taylor, and Willie Mitchell up front. Matt Gaudio couldn't get the 3-pointer to go, and he's disappointed with himself there. It goes out of bounds and Michigan ball. Well, you get a feeling, Bruce, that the intensity has just come down a little bit.
Yeah, it has. Bill, I agree with you 100%. I think Penn State really came out jacked up. The crowd was jacked up. Michigan hung in there.
Travis Conlan cans a couple for Michigan to give them a 4-point lead now. 5 points for Conlan, 17-13. And here is a steal by Dugan Fife in the breakaway. Lays it in.
Dugan Fife's a tough kid. He's really a hard-nosed competitor, good athlete. His dad was a captain in Michigan back in '71, and Dugan was a great football prospect, quarterback and a defensive back. In fact, he's recruited by Michigan for football, too.
Timeout is called on the floor, and Penn State will huddle it up to talk about what is going on here. It is now a 6-point spread, 19-13. The last couple of those points coming on this steal, Bruce.
Here's another good example of good ball pressure, and it leads to a 2-point bucket. Great defense, great individual effort by Dugan Fife.
Dugan Fife is a senior. Doesn't score a lot, averages about 4 points per game, but very tough defensively, and as you said, Bruce, just a solid, hard-nosed, hustling player.
Yeah, he sure is, and he leads by example. This Michigan team is very, very young. Actually, only 2 seniors on the roster, and Dugan's the only senior that really gets any playing time. So he really has to lead by example.
Penn State trying to break a 7-0 run by Michigan now. The 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes has them up by 6 on the Nittany line. Lisicky, 3-point.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Travis Conlan better do a better job of getting through those screens, or it's going to be a long night. Penn State was trying to isolate Calvin Booth that time. Michigan defended the first option well and then totally broke down.
8 points for Pete Lisicky. There he is. And you cannot let him. He's had a couple of wide open threes.
Yeah, he came up wide open. Travis Conlan didn't get through Matt Gaudio's screen. And Pistol rings up a three.
And after that whole exchange there, the officials went down, said a couple of things to Matt Gaudio. Then now they're over at Steve Fisher talking to him. I don't know if there was a little bit of throwing of body weight around or what under the basket.
It's an intense league. It's always intense. Every game's intense. But now when you get down a stretch run, it really picks up.
Taylor passes down inside.
Very nice look by Michigan. Well executed.
Maceo Baston was the easy bucket for his first two of the game. And it's a 5-point Michigan lead, 21-16.
Boy, there's another miscue defensively by Michigan on the perimeter.
Bill Williams in the paint. Can't get it to go, and Baston hauls down the board.
Boy, those long arms are a real help in the rebounding. Now, Baston has arms that are equal of someone 7'3".
Wow. Taylor had his pocket picked, and now we've got a scramble. It will stay Michigan ball, though, on the possession. Maurice Taylor up with the ball. And the Wolverines have a 5-point lead on the Lions. 7:44 to go in the half. We'll be back.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. Right Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
From around the region or around the world, if it's sports, it must be Sports Channel.
5-point lead for the Michigan Wolverines over the Nittany Lions. Penn State's been doing it outside, but Michigan inside, Bruce.
Yeah, here's a real good look at the high-low action. Taylor makes a nice pass down to Bastion, and he finishes on the other side of the basket.
Well, Michigan is now hitting over 60% of its field goals in this game compared to Penn State's 41%. And Matt Gaudio trying to line everybody up defensively. Bullock open from three. Yes.
Boy, he comes in right off the bench and drills one. He's a great shooter.
Very smooth. The freshman out of Temple Hills, Maryland.
He's really got to be careful because I believe it was out at Iowa. He picked up 4 fouls in the first half, and that just devastated their perimeter game.
Matt Gaudio works inside, but had it erased by Maurice Taylor.
That was still a good look, though. They're trying to get it down in there and go to contact. Good look.
Lewis Bullock, you talked about his foul trouble. He's got 2 in this game, so picks up another one here in the first half, and that would damage them.
Yeah, very much so. We'll see if he learned his lesson out at Iowa.
Matt Gaudio will go to the line. There's Jerry Dunn. Coming to the conclusion of his first season as head coach here at Penn State. And Matt Gaudio gets his first point of the game from the foul line.
That was a good look offensively to get the ball. Matt hadn't had a chance really down low to see what he can do tonight. So that was an important possession, I think, for Penn State.
Gaudio spins it in, and Penn State down by 6, 24-18. Conlan forced up that shot. And
Gaudio pulls down the deflection.
I think Conlan penetrates and looks to pass first and shoot second, and that's very, very difficult to do.
Calvin Booth underneath to Sekunda. Good luck.
I really believe, again, Bill, if Penn State's patient, they're going to get all kinds of good looks.
Calvin Booth tipped it away, but could not keep it in bounds.
Nice job by Calvin. Shows his mobility there.
Calvin Booth, the 6'11" redshirt freshman for the Nittany Lions. In the top 10 in blocks in the NCAA. Big Ten block leader, averaging about 4 per game.
Number 1 and number 7. Number 1 in the Big Ten, number 7 in the NCAA.
Danny Earl on Bullock. Now Dugan Fife comes around the top. Fife has had trouble from out there, and he misses again.
Now, Penn State's doing a good job with their interior defense, and they're making Michigan take jump shots, and that's not really their strength.
Gaudio, entry pass to Sekunda. Glenn Sekunda with a short jumper. 4 points for Sekunda now, and it's a 2-point game. 24-22 Michigan lead. Taylor from the baseline. Boy, the Wolverines seem to do that every time Penn State does some damage.
Yeah. Taylor's a terrific young player. He's got a real bright future.
Danny Earl pulls up from distance. Can't get it to rattle in. There's Taylor with a skying rebound. Wolverines working it around. Bullock will just pull up and fire. No good this time. And Gaudio with a board. Has a man down. It's Glenn Sekunda. There's the lob to Booth, and it goes out of bounds. Sekunda should have taken that right in himself.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's a blown opportunity. Trying to get a little cute and go for the alley-oop. I'm really surprised that Michigan isn't trying to go inside a little bit more offensively.
Calvin Booth goes to the bench, and Jeremy Metzger checks back into the game. And we've got a foul underneath. It's going to be Michigan ball.
Yeah, they got Jeremy Metzger with a moving screen.
Steve Fisher saw that too, because he was screaming like crazy. And there's Jerry Dunn. There's a great article on Jerry Dunn in the Philadelphia papers this week explaining how he learned to dunk. They had a basket tacked up to a tree, and he said you couldn't dunk from straight on, or you'd smack right straight into the tree.
Had to do the old sideways.
Yeah. Whoa! There's a foul before the shot, but Maceo Baston has jammed it home, but that won't count.
Now here, Michigan is really not getting anything out of their offense. They're trying to make individual moves, and that was a real tough look. And from the Penn State perspective, you hate to see a foul in that situation because he had very little chance of making that basket.
Danny Earl picked up the foul. That's his second, so he will head over and take a seat. Damien McKnight comes into the game to take his place, and Jarrett Stephens is also in to the game now at forward. On the line is Willie Mitchell. He's got 6 points in the game on 2 3-pointers. And while he's been deadly from 3-point range, he misses from the foul line.
That was a real flat shot. See if he gets better arc this time.
Only a 55% foul shooter.
That's another flat one, but it snuck in there.
Michigan back up to 5 now, 27-22. Jarrett Stephens. McKnight open, top of the key, but he decides to dribble it in.
Boy.
Knocked away from Sekunda. It'll stay Penn State ball.
Bullock left his feet on the pump fake, and he's got to have more discipline defensively, especially with 2 fouls.
Neil Morton checks into the game for Michigan, and again, they're going deeper into their bench than they usually do in the first half of the game. He's a senior from Ann Arbor, but has not seen a whole lot of playing time.
transferred from a college division school, man, I think NAIA school. So I tell you, there's some good basketball played in small colleges. I saw a great game last night, Lock Haven University and Indiana University of Pennsylvania. A terrific ball game. Well coached, well played game.
Mitchell misses badly, and Penn State on the run back the other way.
Boy, wide open. Glenn's wide open.
Sekunda for three. Off the front of the rim. And Morton with a rebound.
A good block out by Morton that time.
Travis Conlan directing traffic from out top.
Damien McKnight doesn't want to give Bullock too much room. He did a good job. They ran a set for Bullock that time, and Damien coped with it very well.
Bullock will fire over top and hit.
Oh, he made a liar out of it.
9 points for Bullock, and he will not hesitate to pull the trigger from anywhere.
He had 40 points in the Capital Classic All-Star game, which is one of the best All-Star games in the country. That was a record for that All-Star game.
Jarrett Stephens inside. Strong move and two for Penn State.
It's great to see Jarrett get a basket. He's a Michigan guy, loves to play against these guys, I'm sure.
Mitchell pulls up, but gets nothing but glass. Baston with a rebound. Stephens finally takes it down. Lob into Metzger. Draws the double. Lisicky will fire from three. Ends up flat on his pants.
Yeah, that's another example of that double team leaving perimeter players open for Penn State.
All right, the Nittany Lions still down by 6, 30-24, and we'll be back.
Remember Michael Jordan's rookie year? Nope, because you couldn't watch it. Remember Shaq's first year in the NBA? Couldn't watch that either. This year's NBA rookie sensation is Jerry Stackhouse. He may be the league's brightest new star. And thanks to Prism and Sports Channel, you won't miss a minute of his rookie year. Prism brings you every Sixers home game. Sports Channel brings you the Sixers on the road. Prism and Sports Channel, the best way to catch the best rookie in the NBA.
Wow, there you go.
The Flyers say hello. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Hola. Ciao. Yo. The Philadelphia Flyers, making visitors feel welcome with greetings of goodwill and friendship.
Oh, he crushes the Oiler player Marshman. He got him back.
In home games you can only see on Prism.
Could it happen again? A national championship for the Wildcats. Some think Kerry Kittles will lead this year's team to the promised land. And Sports Channel brings you all the action with a season of exciting regional matchups. The Wildcats have great perimeter shooting, a tough inside game, and 5 starters returning to the lineup. It's a combination that's sure to give them a great shot at a title. So follow the action this season on Sports Channel, the basketball home of the Wildcats.
Well, the Wolverines with a 6-point lead on the Nittany Lions, and at least one Michigan player, Bruce, has found the range from way outside.
Bullock knows where that three-point line is. He's very comfortable there. Here, Damien gives him a little breathing room, and he pays for it.
Lewis Bullock with 9 points, 3 out of 5 on three-point shots. All his points coming on threes.
Bullock's much like Pete Lisicky, Bill, and if you just give him a step, and if he's able to square and get his balance, he'll shoot it even if you're right there on him.
Penn State applying some full court pressure now as Maceo Baston brings it in. Travis Conlan, Pete Lisicky shadowing him to court. Alley-oop. Oh! Maceo Baston on a jam. Wow.
Very well executed.
You saw that coming a mile away, didn't you?
Yeah. Didn't get a switch on the back screen. It's a nice call out of the timeout by Steve Cook.
8-point lead for the Wolverines now. 32-24. Minute 45 remaining. First half here at the Bryce Jordan Arena. Penn State's point production has fallen off over the past several games. Donovan Williams drives, doesn't get it. Jarrett Stephens puts it back.
Nice stick back by Big Jarrett. You got to admire him. He didn't even get in the last game, and he's coming out ready to go. He's a good kid. Penn State needs to make a stop here. Get a little momentum.
Willie Mitchell working on Sekunda. Pivots on the baseline, but it doesn't go. Tip back. Couple.
That's Michigan's strength. Great on the boards. Terrific rebounding team.
Eight points the lead again. That is the biggest lead of the game for Michigan. 34-26, under a minute to go in the first half here at the Bryce Jordan Center. Lisicky into the paint. Jarrett Stephens again working hard. Stripped away, though. Mitchell deflected it. Travis Conlan to Dugan Fife.
See if Michigan pulls it out.
Nope.
Very poor judgment that time.
Taken away. Lisicky. Jarrett Stephens.
Jarrett Stephens scores.
Costly mistake that time by Dugan Fife.
And we've got a timeout called as they will regroup now. Penn State will go for the defensive stop here. Coming up this Saturday, a couple of games here on Creative Sports. Iowa at Illinois at noon Eastern, followed by Wisconsin at Michigan State. Be sure to check your local listings for the times and stations in your area. But Big Ten basketball really coming down to the wire. The Boilermakers of Purdue, Bruce, have kind of spread themselves out from everybody else, but it's still going to be a scramble.
Well, I think so too, Bill, because Purdue still has two real tough road games at Indiana, at Iowa. They certainly could lose both of those games. And Penn State really has the advantage as far as the remainder of the schedule goes. They've beaten 4 out of the 5 remaining teams, and they only lost to Michigan by 1 at Michigan. So it's very realistic that Penn State could run the table. If they do that and Purdue loses 2, Penn State's right there. See what Michigan comes up with out of the timeout.
10 seconds in the half. Travis Conlan sets it up, uses a screen from Albert White, but lost the ball. It's going to be back court, and Penn State will have a little less than 3 seconds to work with.
Hey, that was great defense by Jarrett Stephens that time on the ball screen. Hedged out real aggressively, got a deflection.
Steve Fisher.
He's got to be upset. That's 2 possessions, and Michigan is basically just giving Penn State the ball.
10 turnovers in the first half now for Michigan. A lot of those coming bunched up early in the first half. Glenn Sekunda will inbound the ball.
Wide open.
Lisicky way out. Doesn't go, and the tip a little bit too late. And we go into halftime here at the Bryce Jordan Center with Michigan on a 6-point lead on the Penn State Nittany Lions. 34-28 at halftime. Penn State and Michigan will be back right after this.
DirecTV presents Dish Out the Winners.
Okay, baby, it's time to predict which teams will be invited to the 1996 DirecTV Grade 8 Festival. Villanova, Steve Lapis has got a dynamite team. Kerry Kittles, are you kidding? Mr. Versatility. They got a dynamite player in Jason Lawson.
To enter the DirecTV Dish Out the Winners sweepstakes, send a postcard with the 8 teams you think might be invited to the 1996 DirecTV Grade 8 Festival for a chance to win some awesome prizes, baby.
Yes, Villanova.
We're on Dodgeland, #1 in 94 and 95. And we're doing it again in 96 by offering every 96 4x4, truck, car, and minivan at $196 a month. Yes, $196 a month. Unbelievable? No. Unbeatable. Discounts up to $5,000 off MSRP. Get automotive credit instantly. Brand new 96 Dodges, $196 a month. Barbera Dodgeland in nearby beautiful Roxborough, where all we do is discount Dodges.
You know us. We're Core States Bank. But you may not know about our new Core States check card. See? Looks like a credit card. But it's not, because it works like a check, only easier. The amount you spend wherever you see a Visa sign is automatically deducted from your checking account. So there's no bill at the end of the month. Ever. Is that easy or what? Sign up for your Core States check card today. Oh, I forgot. The card that works like a check, only easier.
There's a lot of sports on TV, but nobody's really giving sports fans the business. The money games that often dictate what you see on the field and in the stadium. Until now, that is. I'm Victor Livingston. I'm a business journalist, but I'm also a sports fan. And now I bring you Sport Biz Today on Sports Channel Philadelphia. Each week we'll look at the business side of sports, the money games that you should know about if you're any kind of a sports fan. Sport Biz Today, right here on Sports Channel Philadelphia. Be with me.
The home ice advantage, 17,000 fans screaming for a hit, cheering for a goal, counting on a win. Enough energy, enough electricity, enough emotion to shift the game into a higher gear. You can only get the home ice advantage in two places, live at the Core State Spectrum or live on Prism. Prism has Flyers home games you won't see anywhere else. So give yourself the home ice advantage. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
We're at halftime at the Bryce Jordan Center, 34-28. Michigan leading Penn State. Bill Zipper here along with Bruce Parkhill. And Penn State, Bruce, seems to be stuck in a rut a little bit. 28 points at the half again. The scoring offense down a little bit. Shooting percentage down a little bit. And what do they got to do to get back into this game?
Well, the surprising thing is, Bill, Michigan's doing it from the three-point line. I think Penn State had some good looks offensively, and they didn't convert. And as you mentioned, they kind of lost their luster a little bit down the last probably 10 minutes of the half.
All right, let's go over to our colleagues from Michigan now, Larry Osterman, Tim McCormick, for their views. Gentlemen?
Well, we may say that great minds run along the same channels, Bruce, because Tim and I were talking about that very thing, that Michigan had taken a page out of the Penn State book utilizing the three-point basket. There are 6 threes for Michigan tonight. That represents 18 points. That's better than half of the number of points scored by the Wolverines this evening. Is that a surprise?
It is, but I think what you find is that active bodies on the defensive end sort of translate into what they're trying to do on the offensive end. You know, over the course of the season, Michigan is shooting right around the freezing mark at 32% from three-point range. But I think their active bodies are getting everybody into the flow offensively. They're moving the ball, making extra passes. And what you're finding is that those shots go down a little easier when you're having fun out there.
Indeed they do. Well, it's going to be an interesting second half, but we've got some interesting features for you at halftime before we get to that second period. So stay with us on Creative Sports.
Remember Michael Jordan's rookie year? Nope, because you couldn't watch it. Remember Shaq's first year in the NBA? Couldn't watch that either. This year's NBA rookie sensation is Jerry Stackhouse. He may be the league's brightest new star. And thanks to Prism and Sports Channel, you won't miss a minute of his rookie year. Prism brings you every Sixers home game. Sports Channel brings you the Sixers on the road. Prism and Sports Channel, the best way to catch the best rookie in the NBA.
Well, there you go.
The Flyers say hello. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Hola. Ciao. Yo. The Philadelphia Flyers, making visitors feel welcome with greetings of goodwill and friendship.
Oh, he crushes the Oiler player Marshman. He got him back.
In home games you can only see on Prism.
Could it happen again? A national championship for the Wildcats. Some think Kerry Kittles will lead this year's team to the promised land. And Sports Channel brings you all the action with a season of exciting regional matchups. The Wildcats have great perimeter shooting, a tough inside game, and 5 starters returning to the lineup. It's a combination that's sure to give them a great shot at a title. So follow the action this season on Sports Channel, the basketball home of the Wildcats.
Challenge. Challenge yourself. Challenge your brain. Never forget from where you came. Speak. Speak volumes. Speak the truth. Speak your mind. Say what you mean. Have a voice. Make a choice. Have a dream. Dream it all. Dream a life. Dream a future. Aspire. Aspire to have. Aspire to know. Aspire to be.
The Big Ten Conference, celebrating 100 years of athletic and academic excellence.
By expecting a lot from us, we could accomplish things. He didn't have any limitations on us.
He's not the only person in the room teaching. He's always willing to learn.
Challenged me to think, helped to focus my dreams.
They're always willing to help you. He's willing to put in the time. Yeah, I definitely look up to him.
Back at the Bryce Jordan Center, Bill Zipke with you at halftime, and I'm joined right now by Dr. John Brighton, who is the Executive Vice President and Provost at Penn State University. And Dr. Brighton, we're seeing a great example tonight of the athletic excellence of the Big Ten Conference, but the Big Ten also has its share of academic excellence, and maybe you can tell us how the Big Ten stacks up with other conferences around the country academically.
Sure. The Big Ten Conference is one of the strongest in the country. The academic reputation of the Big Ten as a group is among the best in the country, and in fact is the top ranked among all of the conferences. This is shown by U.S. News and World Report that was produced last fall, in which demonstrated this. In fact, this is one of the reasons that Penn State was very, very pleased to be a member of the Big Ten, which they became 6 years ago.
How does Penn State work with the other schools in the Big Ten to maintain academic excellence?
The Big Ten Athletic Conference has a counterpart called the Committee for Institutional Cooperation, the CIC. The CIC has 60 different organizations that are made up of deans, department heads, budget officers, and many other parts of universities that get together and exchange ideas, information, and also collaborate on various projects to improve the university.
How can not only Penn State, but how can Penn State and the public benefit from the CIC?
Well, the public benefits because these universities, the Big Ten universities, are typically the flagship universities of their states. They're also, for the most part, land-grant institutions, and as such, they have a commitment to the public and to the citizens of the state. And as part of that commitment, there is agriculture extension, there's commitment to economic development, there's commitment to continuing and distance education, many, many ways. And the CIC works together to improve those kinds of activities that are part of the organization.
Maybe you can give us an example of how the Big Ten schools would cooperate to benefit the public or the schools themselves. Big Ten schools work together.
Well, there are several. One would be in terms of sharing and study abroad programs. That's one. Another is the libraries and enhancing the libraries. But one that's very, very important to us is the development of multimedia to enhance classroom instruction. All of these universities are working together to develop materials that will help do that. And it's been very, very exciting to see that happen.
All right, Dr. John Brighton, thank you very much here at halftime. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment here at the Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. And those three things are going to carry on forever.
To help keep Jimmy V's dream alive, please call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Are you ready for some turf-burning, high-scoring, board-slamming, take-a-punch, lose-your-lunch, high-fiving, hard-driving, back-slapping, how'd that happen, makes you wonder, blazer-bashing wings action?
The world champion Philadelphia Wings take flight. Catch all the action this Saturday, 8 o'clock at the Core State Spectrum. See them crush the Charlotte Cobras. Tickets at the Core State Spectrum box office and Ticketmaster. Wings Lacrosse is brought to you by Bud Light, official beer. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
The sports world is talking on New Sport Talk. Compelling, conversational, controversial.
I think a great issue that's going to be developed here is that this icon is facing the death penalty.
discussing the latest and hottest topics in sports.
If you didn't enjoy those games, you're never going to enjoy soccer.
What'll they say tonight? Find out on New Sport Talk.
Halftime at the Bryce Jordan Center, the Michigan Wolverines with a 6-point lead on the Penn State Nittany Lions, 34-28. Let's check out some of the action here. Donovan Williams with a nice move here, Bruce.
Yeah, great penetration off the dribble, Phil. Finishes it.
Other action, we talked about Lewis Bullock in the first half. 3-point range, deadly.
Well, the three-point shot has really been what's kept Michigan in the lead, which is surprising, but Bullock isn't surprising.
Pete Lisicky also popped open for a couple.
Here's something we thought we would see more of, Bill. Pete got a wide open look that time, and look for more of that in the second half.
And Michigan, a very athletic team. Check out this one.
Yeah, great play out of the timeout. Back screen, alley-oop, and the finish.
Maceo Baston jams it home. And Michigan with some flurries in this game, building up a 6-point lead at the half. Lions trying to get the offense in gear. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
They're on Dodgeland, #1 in 94 and 95. And we're doing it again in 96 by offering every 96 4x4, truck, car, and minivan at $196 a month. Yes, $196 a month. Unbelievable? No. Unbeatable. Discounts up to $5,000 off MSRP. Automotive credit instantly. Brand new 96 Dodges, $196 a month. Barbera Dodgeland in nearby beautiful Roxborough, where all we do is discount Dodges.
You know us. We're Core States Bank. But you may not know about our new Core States check card. See? Looks like a credit card. But it's not, because it works like a check, only easier. The amount you spend wherever you see a Visa sign is automatically deducted from your checking account. So there's no bill at the end of the month. Ever. Is that easy or what? Sign up for your Core States check card today. Oh, I forgot. The card that works like a check, only easier.
There's a lot of sports on TV, but nobody's really giving sports fans the business. The money games that often dictate what you see on the field and in the stadium. Until now, that is. I'm Victor Livingston. I'm a business journalist, but I'm also a sports fan. And now I bring you Sport Biz Today on Sports Channel Philadelphia. Each week we'll look at the business side of sports, the money games that you should know about if you're any kind of a sports fan. Sport Biz Today, right here on Sports Channel Philadelphia. With
the home ice advantage, 17,000 fans screaming for a hit, cheering for a goal, counting on a win. Enough energy, enough electricity, enough emotion to shift the game into a higher gear. You can only get the home ice advantage in two places, live at the Core State Spectrum or live on Prism. Prism has Flyers home games you won't see anywhere else. So give yourself the home ice advantage. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
Second half about to get underway with the Wolverines up by 6. Let's check out our Harness Extra Herbicide stats from the first half. Team stats here, you can see Michigan shooting a little better. 3-point field goals much better, 6 out of 12, 50%. While Penn State just 2 out of 11, but Penn State out-rebounding Michigan in the first half. And turnovers just about even after the first half of action. Check out some of the individual numbers from the first half as well if we get a chance here before the start of half number 2. Pete Lisicky with a couple of 3-pointers for the Nittany Lions with 8 points in the first half. There's Matt Gaudio with only 2 points in the first half. There are the Penn State scorers. Jarrett Stephens contributed 6. Sekunda and Donovan Williams with 4 apiece.
Bill, it's been surprising. This has been a 3-point shootout.
Yeah.
And both teams have only gone to the foul line a total of 8 times. That means there's been no inside action. And both teams have taken a lot of 3-point shots. We'll see if the coaches on both sides try to establish something inside in the second half.
Earl feeds it into Booth. Matt Gaudio draws the foul as he went into the lane. So Matt Gaudio draws the early foul as he tried to take it inside. But we have talked about this, Bruce, about how whoever is ahead at halftime has the distinct advantage.
Yeah, statistics bear that out.
And Penn State finding themselves down at the half.
Michigan got hung up on a screen that time, and They were lucky to get out of that one.
Spin move by Booth, but he got tangled up. Sekunda
was wide open. Michigan dodged the bullet there 2 times.
Dugan Fife. Travis Conlan are the guards. Bullock as well. So the 3-guard offense slapped away by Gaudio, and here come the Nittany Lions. Glenn Sekunda works the baseline. Danny Earl to Gaudio. Sekunda again. He is cooled off from out there.
They're just getting real open looks, and they've got to start cashing those in.
Gaudio drew a foul as he scrambled for the rebound. There's a battler.
You got that right, buddy. He'll get after it.
Glenn Sekunda now 0 out of 5 from 3-point range.
That's not going to happen real often.
Sekunda came into this game with a 49% 3-point average. Baston pulls it up. Not a great shooter.
No, that's not a good decision. Penn State did a good job extending their defense on the perimeter. Baston couldn't move the ball, and instead of letting the offense work for him, he just went one-on-one.
Gaudio with a lob to Calvin Booth. Had great position. A chance. 4 points for Calvin Booth, and no doubt about that one.
It's a nice job by Penn State to try to establish something inside.
Wolverines trying to get the ball in motion. Bullock wide open. It goes, and it is good, and a foul. Pete Lisicky is going to be called with a foul, and Bullock hits the 3 and will also go to the line. Whoa.
Well, I'll tell you, Michigan did a real good job, as you'll see here. Fife turns the corner, draws the defense, leaves Bullock wide open. Pete Lisicky had to make a decision. Do you stay out and guard the 3-point shooter, or do you go in and help out on the ball penetrating to the basket?
Bullock 85% from the line. All net.
He got a sweet stroke.
Yep. 8-point lead, and that equals the biggest lead of the game for Michigan once again.
Let's see if Penn State tries to get Matt Gaudio involved. He only had 1 shot the first half. See if they can get him the ball.
Gaudio works into the paint. And then dives for the ball, and travel is going to be called on Baston. And Matt Gaudio, credit that turnover to Gaudio.
You're right. That's what hustling do. You keep hustling, good things happen.
Let's watch him in action here.
Matt misses the shot, but he stays with it, gets his hand on it. And Penn State comes up with the ball.
Calvin Booth takes the lob. Jump hook by Calvin. No good.
That was a nice look, though. It was a good, strong shot. He made a nice look at the basket. Got to keep taking those.
Baston, double team. Bullock. He traveled.
That offensive set, Michigan had both big guys down on the block, and when Penn State double teamed the strong side post, the weak side offensive player didn't do anything to counter that, so that Penn State could help out without getting burnt.
Michigan still ahead in the turnover category, 13-11. Lisicky found himself with some space. 5-point lead for the Wolverines. And Pete Lisicky now with 11. Fife with a bounce pass inside to Baston. We had a whistle before the shot, I believe.
Yeah, they caught Calvin leaning on him, I think. That was a good job by Michigan to post up strong and try to get the ball inside. They got good position that time. Sometimes Michigan gets a little stagnant offensively, and then they're easy to guard. That time, They've got position, and when they do, they'll kill you.
Calvin Booth picked up his first personal foul. Dugan Fife going into the forest, and he is fouled. They're going to call it on Gaudio. Or wait, Glenn Sekunda will get the foul. Yeah. Steve Fisher has calmed down a little bit from the first half.
Right here, Baston, both and Taylor had good position that time inside.
Turnaround jumper, no good by Taylor, and Dan Earl with a rebound. Penn State with a chance to close it to within 3. There was a lot of contact down there between Gaudio.
Good job. Penn State's got to do that more. They've got to pound it into Matt and let him go to the foul line.
That's Maurice Taylor's third personal foul. Let's take a look at it.
Here Penn State beats Michigan down in transition. Danny Earl does a good job of getting into Matt. He just takes it strong.
Glenn Sekunda comes out of the game. Phil Williams checks into the game. Donovan Williams is also in. There goes Taylor to the sideline with 3 personal fouls, and Albert White is into the game.
Bill, I'm going to be surprised if Michigan's defense doesn't end up catching up with them in this game. I think their first half they lived on the 3-point shot. I don't think that's their game. And I think if Penn State can execute better, they're going to get good shots.
Well, an exchange of turnovers there after Penn State turned it over. Earl took it back. Lisicky open 3. Yes!
And that is one guy you don't want to leave open.
It's a 2-point game. 38-36. Lisicky now with 14 points. Baston works baseline, forced up a terrible shot, and it's going to remain Michigan ball, though. We've got a timeout on the floor, but the Lions are back into this one. 2-point lead for Michigan. We'll be back.
1995 marks the 100th season of Big Ten Conference football action. Celebrate the centennial anniversary of the Big Ten by ordering this commemorative home video chronicling 100 years of football and men's basketball. For just $19.99, you can relive the rich tradition and proud legacy of gridiron legends from Grange to Griffin and basketball greats such as Lucas, Magic, and the Fab Five. To order, call 1-800-BIG-TEN-4 or send $19.99 plus $5 shipping and handling to the address shown.
From around the region or around the world, if it's sports, it must be Sports Channel.
Well, Penn State is now within 2 points, using a turnover here to get back in.
Well, that was an unforced error, and it proved costly. Penn State comes back in. Pete Lisicky spots up in transition and buries a tray.
This is the closest Penn State has been since they were down 15-13 in the first half. And Pete Lisicky is heating up from 3-point range. Bounce pass inside is knocked away, but Baston regains control. There was heads knocking inside. And Baston is down. He and Donovan Williams crashed heads.
Well, Baston really hasn't used very good judgment offensively tonight, Bill.
Maurice Taylor returns for Michigan. Maurice Taylor will come back into the game. He has 3 personal fouls, and Baston will wander over to the sideline.
He's got to be seeing stars.
Yep.
There was really a lot of contact in there. Donovan Williams seems to be all right. There's Baston being checked out by the trainers for Michigan.
The medical staff and these teams have a busy year. Penn State has a great trainer, John Smith, and team doctor Margot Patukian. They work 24 hours a day with these kids.
Bullock goes to the baseline.
Michigan, they're just dodging the bullet. They're taking tough shots. They're hanging in there from the three. They're really not playing great defense. And I just look for Penn State to start getting the kind of shots they want and start knocking them down, and they'll be okay.
Albert White got that last follow for Michigan. He has 6 points in the game now, and it's a 4-point lead for Michigan, 40-36. 14:40 remaining in the game. Earl for 3 off the rim, but Phil Williams tracks down the rebound. Big Phil.
That's a great job by the big fella.
Earl again. And the rebound, Bullock.
Penn State's missed a lot of wide open looks tonight.
Good pass inside to White, stripped away by Danny Earl, and it's going to go Penn State's way.
Glenn Sekunda returns for Penn State.
There's Glenn Sekunda checking back into the game. Donovan Williams will go to the sideline, and Jerry Dunn welcomes him back over to the bench. Well, between Danny Earl and Glenn Sekunda, they are 0 for 10 on three-point shots. Pete Lisicky is 4 out of 7. He is the only one that has found the range. Sekunda with a nice spin move. Couldn't find an opening there. Earl in the lane. Oh. Phil Williams did not read the break, and it goes out of bounds.
That's too bad. Danny Earl made a great counter to the extended defense, cut into the gut, and anticipated Phil Williams cutting to the basket.
Travis Conlan brings it up for the Wolverines. Dan Earl on the defense there. Inside, Mitchell, offensive board by Albert White. I think there was a whistle. The travel is going to be called before the shot. It's going to go the other way.
Another tough shot by the Wolverines.
Michigan now with 16 turnovers in the game. Penn State with 13. Sekunda will pull it up. Off back iron, but follows his own shot in. Blocked underneath. And now a scramble there, and it is going to be Penn State ball. Yeah, Glenn Sekunda with a series of misses here.
Right here, Willie Mitchell starts to go to the other end. Doesn't block Glenn Sekunda out. Glenn gets another opportunity. Nice block.
Lewis Bullock out of the game now. And you can see Penn State has been pounding those offensive boards.
Well, they've missed a lot of shots. They've had a lot of opportunities to get offensive boards.
Gaudio forces one up, no go, and White for the rebound.
That was a tough shot. I think both teams are being a little impatient right now, Bill.
Taylor, baseline move. Nice move. Didn't get it to go, though, and Danny Earl corrals it.
I think Maurice was just a little bit out of his range for that jump hook.
Lisicky. Short jumper good. 16 points for Pete Lisicky. 2-point game again. 40-38 Michigan leads. Mitchell, turnaround jumper. Sekunda got a piece of that. Foul as Danny Earl went into the paint, and Dugan Fife is going to be called with a foul. That's his second personal foul. Substitutions as Lewis Bullock checks back into the game. Maceo Baston also comes in. Mitchell and Taylor go to the sideline.
Lisicky will throw it in for the Nittany Lions. Donovan Williams works around the arc. Lisicky to Sekunda. It's good and a foul.
That was a terrific pass by Pete Lisicky.
Basket by Glenn Sekunda is good.
Glenn Sekunda gets 6 points down. He'll go to the line. Here it is.
Yeah, Pete comes off that screen real hard and still has good court vision and sees Glenn underneath. Glenn comes up, makes a nice move to finish the play and go to the line for a three-point opportunity.
Now the goaltender. And Maurice Taylor returns.
Never like to see three-point plays. Steve Fisher.
And he sure didn't want to see Glenn Sekunda get off the snide either.
And the game is
that's
now
all the guy
tied.
needs.
Penn State going for the lead here. Sekunda gets it to roll in, and Penn State has their first lead now since they led this game 13-12 early on in the game. 41-40, Lions up by 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's attendance.
Get set to hit the hardwood as the Big Ten Network brings you college hoops excitement all season long. Don't miss all the fast-breaking end-to-end action when the Big Ten takes on all comers and conference matchups are in your face as the run for the league championship heats up. Join us for all the full court intensity when college basketball's best take it to the hoop on the Big Ten Network.
Weekends were made for sports, and New Sport, your source for sports news and information, covers all the weekend action with so many games. Who has the time to catch them all? Now you do with Scoreboard Central, your weekend spot on the dial for all the scores, highlights, and more. Scoreboard Central. No more waiting. Get what you want when you want it. Informative and timely. Scoreboard Central.
Last year, they made a run in the NIT. Now they want a ticket to the big dance. This season, follow the Penn State Nittany Lions on Sports Channel in exclusive coverage. Games you won't find anywhere else. This year's team is loaded with talent, featuring slam dunk specialists and three-point threats. It's riveting Penn State action, and it's only on Sports Channel. The Nittany Lions have a great shot at the NCAA tournament, so follow them on their way to March Madness on Sports Channel, the basketball home of the Nittany Lions.
You think the students here at Penn State were ready for this one?
I'll tell you, the fans here are terrific. For about the last 7 years, there's really been a tradition where the students stand the whole game, and they've camped out for their tickets. Last year for a week. Fortunately, the university changed that policy a little bit so they didn't have to freeze to death to get their tickets. But they've really provided a terrific atmosphere for Penn State basketball the last 7 or so years.
Penn State leads by 1. 11:40 remaining in the game. Baston and Phil Williams battling up top. Into Taylor. Rebound, Phil Williams.
Calvin Booth was a factor on that possession. He's a tough guy to try to get it over.
Booth altering the shot of Maurice Taylor before Williams got the rebound. Lisicky pulls up a little too long, and Bullock with a rebound. Bullock runs it up and draws the foul from Donovan Williams coming up the side.
Foul is on Donovan Williams. It's his third.
Donovan Williams picks up his third personal foul, and Dan Earl immediately up off the bench, and he will check back into the game.
Albert White back in for Michigan.
No, Bill, neither team has really scored out of their offense a lot. Both teams have had to adjust and freelance a little bit after their initial sets have been covered.
And Danny Earl now has some type of wrap on his elbow. White goes to the hoop. Oh, nice move by Albert White.
Albert White was a first-team high school All-American, along with, I think, 3 or 4 other Michigan guys.
Yeah. They attract them like magnets.
Good defense by Dugan Fife that time. Penn State's trying to get Pete Lisicky off the zipper cut, screened by Phil Williams. Dugan did a great job there.
9 seconds on the shot clock now. Earl.
They broke down.
Banked it in. Found himself wide open in the lane. Everybody ran away from him.
Phil Williams couldn't get Pete open, but he got Danny open.
4 points for Danny Earl in the game, and Penn State back on top. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of lead changes down the stretch here. Dugan Fife working on the side. Travis Conlan with the ball. Gets it off to Bullock. Over to Fife. 6 seconds on the shot clock. And it's taken away.
That was real solid defensive set that time by Penn State.
Bounce pass to Booth. He'll take it. The Calvinator. 6 points, Calvin Booth in the game. If you can get some offense from Calvin Booth, that's a big, big plus.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
His average has fallen under 10 points per game. That's going out of bounds.
Now, Michigan's trying to run a high-low set, and there's absolutely no movement. And Penn State is taking a defender off of Travis Conlan because he's not an outside threat and helping out. Right here, they're trying to go high-low. Calvin confront. Glenn Sekunda and Dan Earl come all the way in and plug in and take away that play.
Full court pressure from Michigan now. Penn State has a 3-point lead, 45-42. 9:10 remaining in the game. Bill Zimper, Bruce Parkhill with you at Bryce Jordan Center. And Penn State's run in the last 5.5 minutes right there, 9-2. Down to 10 on the shot clock again. Donovan Williams. Danny Earl. Bounce pass to Gaudio. Booth will take the short jumper again.
Big fella's got it going. Real good patience that time by the Nittany Lions, and that's what they got to do. We talked about that in the first half. They've got to move the ball, get some player movement, some ball movement. They're going to get good looks.
Steve Fisher wants a timeout. Penn State on an 11-2 run has taken a 5-point lead, 47-42.
Matt Gaudio penetrates, draws the defense. Calvin's wide open, and he can hit that elbow jump shot all night.
Calvin Booth now with 8 points in the game. And Calvin Booth's point production has slipped off as of late. In the last 7 games, he's been averaging just a little over 4 points per game, but he's getting it going tonight. Getting more opportunities tonight, I think, than he had in the past few.
Yeah, he has, Bill. It'll be interesting to see what Steve Fisher gets out of the timeout here. I really think they need to go to a different set. That high-low action was just not enough movement. Penn State was comfortable guarding it.
8.5 minutes remain. Dugan Fife takes the 3 and nails it.
Well, that'll get you.
Yeah.
Dugan Fife for 3 points.
And Michigan draws back to within 2. Sekunda pulls up. That helps.
Right back at you.
Fife will pull it out. Travis Conlan.
There's no movement in Michigan's offense. No movement at all.
Fife again. Down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Bullock fires. Gaudio yanks it down. Here come the Lions on the run.
That's a great move. It's a great move. Penn State's got to do that more often, Bill, if they get a chance, because their depth is going to be a factor, and they can wear Michigan down.
It's a 7-point lead for the Nittany Lions. Now they lead at 52-45. 7:22 remaining in the game here at the Bryce Jordan Center. We'll be back right after this.
We are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. We need your help. It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
To help keep Jimmy V's dream alive, please call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V.
From around the region or around the world, if it's sports, it must be Sports Channel.
Penn State with their biggest lead of the game, 7 over Michigan, and let's watch Danny Earl operate here.
Here's a great run out, good solid defensive possession, and Penn State takes advantage of Michigan not getting back in transition.
Dan Earl blowing right by Lewis Bullock for the layup. There he is, Danny Earl, junior out of Medford Lakes, New Jersey.
Danny's brother Bryan is Princeton's best three-point shooter.
Donovan Williams on the defense against Lewis Bullock. Baston. Morton into the game handle. Down to 6 seconds on the shot clock. Bullock forces one up again, won't go. Tapped around, and Danny Earl controls. Penn State with a chance to make it a 9-point lead.
Good look.
Matt Gaudio, boy, trying to go down hit on that one. Jerry Dunn thinks somebody got hit. Morton with a pump fake gets it back out to Dugan Fife.
See, Penn State is able to sag in on Michigan's big guys because they're not a great perimeter shooting team. They have to guard Bullock. Fife once in a while and see if he hits this one. Yep. Yo. Just sneaky. This one you think he's not going to take one, he'll knock one down. But Penn State's defense has been very effective on Michigan's interior game, especially in the second half.
Dugan Fife drains the three, and it's 52-48. 4-point lead again. Calvin Booth, short jumper. That's blocked. It's goaltending. Maceo Baston with a goaltend. So give 2 to Calvin Booth. 10 points for Calvin Booth, but he gets some freebies here.
Let's get a look at that one. See if it was coming down. Oh, I don't know. It looked like a good block.
Pete Lisicky checks back into the game. Maurice Taylor draws a double team down low. Conlan into the lane. Now, what are they going to call here? It's offensive goaltending. Maurice Taylor tried to jam it back in. Let's check out this action. A lot of action above the rim here.
Good penetration by Conlan, but he can't finish. And Mo Taylor coming over the back.
Matt Gaudio loves that kind of physical play. He'll mix it up in there.
He likes that.
Donovan Williams and Lisicky now into the game with Dan Earl. There's a pass down low to Lisicky. Gaudio pops open. Rebound tries Conlan. Here come the Wolverines. They have had one of their best three-point shooting nights of the year here at Bryce Jordan Arena. Tapped away by Gaudio as they try to get the entry pass to Maurice Taylor.
I thought that was a good possession by Michigan that time. They moved the ball, they swung the ball, they got a good cut and a good look inside. Matt Gaudio had to make a great play to deflect the ball.
Albert White back into the game now for Michigan. Taylor will take the turnaround. Baston, offensive board, and he's fouled going back up.
Yeah, that's the kind of shot you want Michigan to take if you're Penn State, but you cannot give them second opportunities.
Calvin Booth draws his second personal foul. And Baston will go to the line. And there you see Michigan with 56% from the three-point line. Penn State, again, the three-point shooting, 27% down a bit, but Penn State tough on the board. And that all adds up to a 6-point lead for the Nittany Lions. Maceo Baston with 4 points on the night. Misses the foul shot. Try for Baston, and he hits that. 5 points on the night to go with his 4 rebounds. Steve Fisher trying to get everybody jacked up and ready to go for the final 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Danny Earl had Dugan Fife chasing all the way, and when he stopped, Fife did not. That's a foul. Here they are.
Danny turns the corner off a Matt Gaudio screen. He loves the pump fake. That's his bread and butter move.
Those two guys were teammates with the Big Ten All-Stars this summer.
Real hard-nosed competitors. Real good players.
Gaudio inside. Nice pass. 4 points for Gaudio, and it's a 7-point Penn State lead again. Albert White tried a no-look pass. That was a mistake.
Well, it's a freshman mistake.
Volleyball pass down to Albert White. And he drew a foul. Crowd wanted to travel, but he draws a foul going in. Let's check this out here. He took an awful long leap at the end of this.
Yeah, looked like he jump stopped and then, let's see, jump stop, yep, he got it off. What happened at the other end, Pete Lisicky was looking to throw to Matt Gaudio, but Matt Gaudio was screening away out of the transition. So Matt wasn't ready for the pass.
Albert White goes to the line, 68% free throw shooter, 6 points on the night for the freshman. Just getting back into position now. He's all the way down at the end of the court. White hits it. It's a 6-point lead. 4:05 remaining. Penn State up 56-50. There's Albert White. And he hits 2. Full court pressure with Conlan on Lisicky. A foul away from the ball. Albert White is going to be called for the foul as he got tangled up with Glenn Sekunda. Second foul on Albert White.
Well, you don't want to put Glenn in line if you're Michigan. Michigan's really got some great talent, but they're so young, and Steve is really a patient guy. He does a really nice job, but sometimes they just have to drive you crazy. They do things that are ill-advised, and that's just part of being young. They're really going to be good the next couple of years.
Sekunda hit. Yeah, you look like guys like Louis Bullock, who was a freshman. Albert White's a freshman. Willie Mitchell's a freshman. You got sophomores and Maceo Baston and Maurice Taylor. Travis Conlan's a sophomore. So going to see these guys for a long time.
That's right. They're basically freshmen and sophomores.
Glenn Sekunda hits them both, and Penn State with a 7-point lead again, 58-51. Nittany Lions lead. We'll be back after this timeout from our local station.
Remember Michael Jordan's rookie year? Nope, because you couldn't watch it. Remember Shaq's first year in the NBA? Couldn't watch that either. This year's NBA rookie sensation is Jerry Stackhouse. He may be the league's brightest new star. And thanks to Prism and Sports Channel, you won't miss a minute of his rookie year. Prism brings you every Sixers home game. Brings you the Sixers on the road. Prism and Sports Channel, the best way to catch the best rookie in the NBA.
Well, there you go.
The Flyers say hello. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Hola. Ciao. Yo. The Philadelphia Flyers, making visitors feel welcome with greetings of goodwill and friendship.
Oh, he crushes the Oiler player Marshman. He got him back.
In home games you can only see on Prism.
Could it happen again? A national championship for the Wildcats. Some think Kerry Kittles will lead this year's team to the promised land. And Sports Channel brings you all the action with a season of exciting regional matchups. The Wildcats have great perimeter shooting, a tough inside game, and 5 starters returning to the lineup. It's a combination that's sure to give them a great shot at a title. So follow the action this season on Sports Channel, the basketball home of the Wildcats.
Well, Penn State came from behind after being down at halftime to have a 7-point lead now. Coming up this Saturday here on Creative Sports. Doubleheader, Wisconsin at Michigan State gets underway at noon Eastern Time, 11 Central, followed by Iowa at Illinois, 2:15 Eastern, 1:15 Central. Check your local listings for the stations carrying those games in your area. Oh, yeah, they like it.
There's a look at the 6th man. Matt Gaudio came out of the timeout and got him juiced up a little bit.
You know, one of the questions, I guess, Penn State had, Bruce, when they opened up this new arena was whether they would lose a home court advantage moving over from Rec Hall, but I'd say that has been answered.
Absolutely. It's a really, really good atmosphere. Not as intimate as Rec Hall, but really a fun atmosphere.
Taylor with a turnaround. That goes out of bounds, but wow. Going to stay Michigan. It looked like it went off a Michigan player and out of bounds.
You know, Michigan's in a situation now where they've got to be more aggressive with the ball. They've got to try to take it to the hoop. They can't settle for turnaround jump shots, even though Taylor's capable of hitting that. Matter of fact, he had a quadruple double in high school. 38 points, 13 rebounds, 10 blocks, and 10 assists.
Wow.
Not a bad night, huh? Now that's the move they've got to make right there if they want to get back in the ball game.
Maceo Baston strong inside, and he puts in the deuce. And it's a 5-point lead, 7 points for Baston now in the game. Bullock is on Danny Earl. Penn State will run time off of the clock whenever they can.
Yeah, run some time off the clock, and then they're going to run a set play.
Down to 12 on the shot clock. Lisicky cross court to Sekunda. Up off the drive, but no good. Gaudio with a rebound and a fresh.
There's the heart and soul of this club right there. Big plays down the stretch. That's what it's all about. 5th-year senior.
Conlan tried to apply pressure to Danny Earl way outside.
And he didn't want to foul. Already run enough time off the clock.
And Jerry Dunn wants a timeout to talk about how Penn State will handle the final 2 minutes and 7 seconds of this game at the Bryce Jordan Center. 58-53. It's a 5-point lead for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Michigan looked a little lethargic when they went over to the huddle, Phil, and Steve had to kind of lift his hands up and try to get him pumped up a little bit.
And there is the Penn State huddle. They have really come on. Here are the Big Ten standings, and Purdue, as we said, now with a 2-game lead over the Nittany Lions, going down the stretch here. But look at Iowa, Indiana, Michigan State, Minnesota, Michigan, all with 5 or 6 losses in the Big Ten. What a year.
Yeah, it's been a fun year for Big Ten fans, especially Penn State fans.
Under 2 minutes left in the game now. Earl to Phil Williams. He goes up and he draws the foul from Willie Mitchell. Mitchell got a lot of ball, but got some body.
Yeah, that was a great job by Danny Earl to get rid of that ball. Steve Fisher wants a backcourt call. I'm not sure that he isn't right.
Still talking about it.
And Danny Earl draws the defense, kicks it over to Big Phil. Mitchell does a good job preventing the layup.
Bill Williams on the line. Free throw percentage has come up as the season has gone along, but where he has been the factor for Penn State has been as a rebounder. He has come in and really done a job.
Yes, he has. A screener and a rebounder. Big fella looked pretty comfortable on that one.
One out of two. And Taylor gets the rebound for Michigan. Here comes Travis Conlan with the ball. The Wolverines can't waste a lot of time setting things up here. Only a minute 40 left. There's a pass to Bullock. It goes out.
That's where youth really hurts.
And a timeout called again as both teams will head to the huddle. 20 turnovers for Michigan in this game now. 6-point lead for the Lions. We'll be back after this word from our local station.
From around the region or around the world, if it's sports, it must be Sports Channel.
Steve Fisher laying out the strategy for his guys over at the Michigan bench. And at this point, with a minute 42 left, Bruce, you've got to get shots off in a hurry.
Well, they do. They don't have to panic yet, but they've either got to make a real good defensive stand here if they're going to let Penn State run the clock down and stop them, get the ball, come down, get a good look, score to get their defense set up, or foul right away.
Michigan with just one full timeout remaining. And after the turnover, Penn State will have the ball. Sekunda on the inbound. Gets it to Gaudio, and back to Sekunda. Sekunda slipped, but got it to Danny Earl.
Good job by Penn State to maintain their spacing, stay strong, and see through the defense.
Ron Oliver, there he is, drew the foul there as he was trying to apply the pressure. Oliver will go out. Maurice Taylor back into the game.
Right now, Penn State has to make their foul shots, come back, take away the three. Don't give Michigan a real quick, easy basket. Make them work for it a little bit. Block them out, not give second shots, and put it away. If you're Michigan, you got to get the ball down. You got to get it in the hoop. Whether it's a three or not, you got to get it in the hoop so you can set up the defense.
Danny Earl on the line. That's his 5th point of the night, the free throw. Little under his average for tonight. But he'll have a shot at another one. You see that bandaged right elbow. Misses that, and the scramble goes to Michigan. Bullock brings it down. Minute 15 left in the game. 7-point lead for Penn State. Bullock to the hoop.
That was a great individual effort by Lewis Bullock. Terrific shot.
Threw it up, and it went in. And a timeout called by Penn State. Had a little trouble getting the ball inbound.
Real nice conversion from offense to defense that time.
Coming down the stretch in the Big Ten as each team goes over to their respective huddle. The road the rest of the way for each of these teams. For Michigan, Minnesota and Michigan State at home. Then at Illinois, a tough one. At Northwestern, not easy. And home against Wisconsin. So they have 3 home games remaining out of their 5. For Penn State, we talked about this. Northwestern here. And then at Minnesota, at Wisconsin, and Ohio State back here. I would think all winnable, Bruce.
Penn State can make it. They can run the table, Bill. They can certainly have beaten each one of these teams, and they can run the table. Purdue certainly could lose at Indiana and lose at Iowa.
And in that case, it would be a tie in the Big Ten standings.
And if I'm not mistaken, the tiebreaker would be overall record, which Penn State would win.
So Penn State basketball fans still have hope for a Big Ten title. Jerry Dunn has everybody together over there. Ed DeChellis also in the middle of the huddle. Assistant coach for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Jerry has a great staff. Eddie DeChellis and Frank Haith both could run major programs right now. Money Brown's a real good young coach.
Well, this will be only the 3rd time Penn State, if they hang on this one, would win a game after trailing at the half. 2 and 4 coming into this game while trailing at the half. Again, Sekunda harassed as he brings the ball in. Double team on Dan Earl. And they get it to Matt Gaudio. Gaudio to Lisicky.
1 minute to play.
1 minute left in this one, and Danny Earl is fouled by Neil Morton as he came around from behind.
Foul is on Neil Morton. That's his first.
Again, a real nice job of Penn State. They kept their spacing. They saw through the defense. They didn't get too worried about the impending double team. They looked ahead, found the open man, moved the ball across half court. They were strong. Going to the foul line.
There you see Danny Earl's numbers from the foul line tonight. 1 out of 2, and for the season. Struggled early on, but started to find his free throw stroke later in the year.
Yeah, he looks more comfortable now than he did earlier in the season. Right now, look for Penn State to switch on any screening action to negate an effort by Michigan to screen to a 3-point shot. Make Michigan take a 2-point shot or go to the basket.
Willie Mitchell over on the Michigan bench. Created some fireworks early with a couple of threes. Earl hits 1 out of 2 again. 6-point lead. We're down to 50 seconds. Bullock takes it right to the rack. Rebound for Donovan Williams. He's tied up immediately, but got it away. Lisicky runs in at Dugan Fife, and they call the block on Fife. So Pete Lisicky will go to the line now, but a great job just to get that ball out of here. Watch this, Bruce.
Yep. Real good job. Staying strong, kicking ahead again. He didn't let the double team bother him. Glenn does a good job of kicking ahead, although he did put Pete Lisicky in a bit of a bind there. Probably should have held on to it.
Jerry Dunn looking to break a 2-game losing string in the Big Ten after road losses at Indiana and Purdue. 16 points on the night for Pete Lisicky.
Pete's a GTE Academic All-American candidate. 3.27 grade point average in business administration. A real sharp young man.
Also was added to the list of finalists for the Wooden Award.
That's right. People probably wondering why Bullock drove to the hoop that time when they're down, but there was not a 3-point shot available. And that was a smart play to just try to convert as quickly as he could.
18 points for Pete Lisicky on the night, and a timeout called. Jerry Dunn waves everybody over. Steve Fisher will talk to his guys. But Penn State up by 8. Back after this word from your local station.
Are you ready for some turf-burning, high-scoring, board-slamming, take-a-punch, lose-your-lunch, high-fiving, hard-driving, back-slapping, how'd that happen? Makes you wonder, blazer-bashing wings action.
The world champion Philadelphia Wings take flight. Catch all the action this Saturday, 8 o'clock at the Core State Spectrum. See them crush the Charlotte Cobras. Tickets at the Core State Spectrum box office and Ticketmaster. Wings Lacrosse is brought to you by Bud Light, official beer. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
The sports world is talking on New Sport Talk. Compelling, conversational, controversial.
I think the great issue that's going to be developed here is that this icon is facing a death penalty.
Discussing the latest and hottest topics in sports.
If you didn't enjoy those games, you're never going to enjoy soccer.
What'll they say tonight? Find out on New Sport Talk.
It's another sellout here at the Bryce Jordan Center on the campus of Penn State University. And they have reason to clap away at this one because with 42 seconds left in this, Penn State leads Michigan 63-55, trying to avenge an earlier defeat at Ann Arbor.
You know, Bill, I think Penn State was very confident coming into this game. I sensed that the players were very confident, and even though they've had 2 tough games on the road, they really felt like they were going to win this ball game.
Travis Conlan brings it up for the Wolverines. 35 seconds left. Taylor backs into 3 range and misses the shot. Offensive bulldog by Bullock. Under 30 seconds left. Bullock into the paint. Gets the bounce to go. And now the full court pressure again. A triple team on Dan Earl, and he fouled. Now we'll bring it down the other end, and Danny Earl will go to the line. 6-point lead for the Nittany Lions. Pete Lisicky with 18 points on the night. There he is. And there is our forward player of the game. 18 points on the night for Pete Lisicky. And he got the 3-point action going again, Bruce, and that was badly needed for Penn State.
He sure did, Bill, and he had a real strong first half, 3 for 6, 2 for 5 from downtown, and then finished strong in the second half. And we said at the beginning of the program that Pete was going to be a really key guy for Penn State tonight, and he came through.
Danny Earl hits both of his foul shots. He now has 8 points. There is Pete Lisicky, the sophomore from Whitehall, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley guy.
Love that Lehigh Valley.
Quality guys come out of there.
Yes,
Quality
sir.
people.
Yes, sir.
Dugan Fife works it down. 15 seconds left, but it's taken away. Donovan Williams to Sekunda.
Glenn wanted to get a couple of foul shots there.
Yeah. Lewis Bullock gets the foul. Jerry Dunn still directing traffic from the sideline. And Glenn Sekunda will get a chance at the foul line now. (13 points now for Glenn Sekunda, and he rebounds from a down performance at Purdue.
Yes, he did. He had a tough time from the perimeter tonight, but then he got the ball inside about, well, it was early in the second half, got a 3-point play, and that kind of got him on track. And then he ended up knocking a couple of shots down and finished up a lot stronger.
14 points for Sekunda. Bullock pulls up with a long 3, partially deflected, and Gaudio has it, and will let time run out. That's it. It ends up as a 10-point win for the Nittany Lions of Penn State, 67-57 over the Michigan Wolverines. So Michigan falls to 16-10 on the season, 6-7 in the Big Ten, while Penn State 19-4 now, and they pick up another Big Ten victory as well. 10-point victory for the Nittany Lions at Bryce Jordan Center in University Park. And now for Bruce Parkhill, this is Bill Zimper wishing you a good evening, everyone.
You're watching Sports Channel. We now present our regularly scheduled program in its entirety.